Hey guys, it's Ruiz up. I hope you're good. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to what I've read in March. It's a lot. So in the month of March, I've read 10 books, started a manga, and finished an audiobook. So we're gonna get into them. I have a good mix of like dark romance and just sweet cowboy rom-coms. First, I've read Flawless by Elsie Silver. This is book one in the Chestnut Springs series, and I love this series so much. I'm not done with it yet. I still have the last one, which is, I have it right here, which is Hopeless. I still have this one to read, but my god, this series, these men. So I'm just going to start by, the whole series is about the Eaton boys. The Eaton boys are three brothers. One of their best friend that's basically an adopted brother, and one of the guys, protege. It's about these five guys and their love stories. They live on a ranch and cowboys. That's basically the whole premise of these books. So first we have Flawless, which is about Rhett, who is a bull rider golden boy. Everyone loves him, but then he does a little something that gets him into trouble with one of his biggest sponsor. Because of that, his agent basically gives him a babysitter to be with him for the whole season. That babysitter is Winter Hamilton, who is his agent's daughter. Now we have some forced proximity because she has to be with him 24/7, and they fall for each other. It's very sweet. I like it. Next, we have book 2 in the series, which is Heartless. I gave this one a 5-star. This motherfucker had me in a chokehold. So this one is about Cade, who is the oldest of the brothers. He is a very serious man, and he is a single dad. Now, summer is just around the corner, and he needs to find a nanny to be with his kid since he won't be in school for the summer, and Cade still has to work. Now, the nanny who he ends up hiring is Summer's best friend, Willa. Willa is a firecracker, and she is fucking amazing, honestly. I love her so much. We have an age gap between them, and Cade keeps telling himself, like, we can't be together because 1, you're the nanny, 2, age gap. But they do end up falling for each other hard and fast, and Cade also really wanted her to be good for his kid since his mom is not in his life. And it made him fall even harder when he saw, like, Willa and Luke, who is the kid, like, when he saw their relationship. It was very sweet. We love a good single dad. We love a grumpy sunshine. We love a father nanny. We love an age gap. We have everything in this, okay? Next, I took kind of a little break of it, and I read the first volume of The Quintessential Quintuplets, which is a manga by Negi Aruba. Yep. I've watched this anime series with my fiance a couple years back, and I have the 2 box sets, which is basically the whole series, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna read them and get so into them, and I just ended up reading the first one. It's very good, but I just read other stuff instead. So this series is about Futaro, who is a tutor to these 5 quintuplets. The thing is, he really needs this job to help out his family, but the quintuplets don't want to tutor. They don't want to do school stuff. They don't give a shit. And, to be paid, they need to learn. And the girls all have all these different personalities, and I love them so much. And the premise of the whole, series is that from the start, from page 1, we see that he gets married to one of the girls. We do not know which one. It never gets revealed. There are a lot of fan theories. But we never have a confirmation. So my favorite is Nino, which is this girl right here. She is a meanie pants. But I love her so much. My fiance's favorite is this one, who I never remember her name. She's the little sporty girl. The fan favorite and the like theory that she is the one he marries is this one right here. I don't remember any of their names except for Nino's name. Thanks to my husband, we now know her name is Miku. Then we have this one right here who is hyper and a sweetheart. And this one right here, which I think she comes second in fan theories, that she's the one he marries. And she's like the leader. So, yeah. Started the series, and I want to keep going, but I also want to rewatch Buddy Daddies, and I also have so many books I want to read. And we're also moving soon, so will I have time to actually read this? Who knows? But I really want to keep going. Then I went and read Powerless, which is book 3 in the Chestnut Spring series. This is a mix of cowboy and hockey. When I tell you, you take two of my weaknesses for book boyfriends and you put them in one, you get Mr. Gervais, okay? You get Mr. Jasper Gervais. That man has a very French name. Jasper Gervais. Well, it is based in Canada. It's based in Alberta. So, it could make sense that he has a French last name since he's based in Alberta. Anyways, so Jasper is basically the adopted brother. I say basically because he was never actually adopted, but the brothers see him as one of them. And since Jasper has always been on the Ethan family farm, well, that means that every single summer he would see Sloane, who is the boy's cousin. And Sloane fell head over heel for Jasper since the first time she saw him. But she never thought it would go anywhere. Now we are years in the future. She is right about to be married when shit goes down between her and her fiance, and Jasper gets her out of there. And then all the pent-up feelings start coming back, and they fall for each other. It's very sweet. And something I thought was funny is the whole time, Harvey Ethan, which is the father, keeps making jokes of babies with third legs because people see them as cousins even though they're not. So it was very funny to me. Harvey, okay, that man, throughout the whole series, that man makes so many jokes, and I love him for it. And something I like that we have at the end of each of the books is we have like an extra chapter about Harvey's love life. Like we have bonus scenes about Harvey and his love life because his wife passed like a decade ago. And at the end of each of the books, we see like his love life going forwards a little bit. It's just very sweet. Then we go from these to this book. This is called Depraved. It is book 1 in the Pleasure and Prey series by A.J. Merlin. Now you can definitely tell why I'm saying it's different. I did really enjoy it. Now, this book, our main character's name is Sloane, just like in this one, and just like in Butcher and Blackbird. So I read 3 books so close together because I read Butcher and Blackbird at the end of February that the FMC's name is Sloane. Now, first time you're like, okay, yeah, Sloane. original name, whatever. But after 3 books, you're like, I don't give a shit for that name anymore. That's just my opinion. Now, the Pleasure and Prey series is based off horror movie villains. I do not know who the one in this one is, but we do have like Michael Myers. We do have Freddy Krueger. And I've read the other one that is out, which is right here, which is Chainsaw Massacre. I don't remember his name, but yeah. So, that's nice. This is basically a kinky, smutty version of horror movies. So, in this one, we have our main character, Sloane, who works and lives on a campsite. Basically, she has her own cabin there, and she works there during the day. And she is being stalked by a new visitor. That new visitor is Virgil. I do not like his name, but that's okay. And he stalks her. He breaks into her cabin with a mask on and makes her come. Multiple times, basically. And then they start, like, talking to each other outside of that environment. And Sloane has kind of a dark past. And, well, Virgil, being a serial killer stalker, is willing to help her with that. Let's just say. I really liked it. Next, I reread Au Cinquième by M.P. Boisvert, which is a book I gave 5-star to in, I think, July of last year. I'm doing a reading vlog, like rereading all of my 2023 5 stars. And it was a 5-star again, and I nearly fucking cried yet again. So there is an English version of this. It has been translated. It's called The Fifth. So it's by M.P. Boisvert. It's just a little baby of a book, and there's so much to say about this. First of all, this is about polyamory, about being queer, about being a young adult, discovering life without being, like, traditional. So in this book, we have 4 persons who live together on the 5th floor of a building in Sherbrooke. And a 5th person is about to enter their circle and live with them. And in this, we see relationship starts, whether they're platonic, romantic, sexual. We see all kind of relationship in there. And we also see some fucked up family relationships, if I can be completely honest. And our characters, we have a lesbian character, we have a trans character, we have 3 bi/pan characters. It's just very sweet. And the end made me cry both times I read it. And something I love is the dedication in this book. Because what's it like living my dream life in M.P. Boisvert? It says, to my girlfriend and my husband. And you know what? I wish. That's what I gotta say. Something else I love about that is that it's very healthy polyamorous relationship. Sometimes, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, you can't really be poly. It's just so much jealousy, so much this. And jealousy is something that is actually talked about in this book. And how feelings develop. And just very healthy polyamory. And yeah, I really like it. It's very sweet. I really recommend it, especially now that there's like an English version out. And when I picked this book up, I was in Sherbrooke, which is where this book is based. And it was in August, I believe. But this little library we went to still had their Pride table on display. And I picked it up and I looked at the back and I was like, huh? Like, this is the first time I read something like this. And It's just fucking amazing. Next, I read Brutal, which is book 2 in the Pleasure and Prey series by A.J. Merlin, which was my favorite out of this whole series. This Mr. Wren, this man who kills people with this serial killer, I love him. So this is based off Friday the 13th, and it does start at a summer camp. So in this book, we have Hazel, who is a camp counselor, and it is the end of summer camp, and they're having a little camp counselor party before they all go home. That night, Hazel is brought into the wood by one of her fellow counselors who has been basically in love with her the whole summer, and she doesn't like him. And he tries to, put the moves on her and kiss her and shit. And right when he's about to kiss her, a machete killer comes and kill him because the lady said no, fuck you. That machete wielding serial killer is Mr. Wren Crystal. That man, we love him, okay? We love him even though he's a serial killer. We don't care. Now, Wren tells her that he has been stalking her for the whole summer, like from across the camp, and has fallen for her. And she's like, what the fuck? Get away from me. You just killed someone, and starts running. And there is some primal play in the first couple chapters. Yeah. And I actually really like this one. Next, I finally read a book I've been wanting to read for a long fucking time. Okay, for this book, I got an electronic arc that actually ended up not wanting to open. And so I felt bad about it, so I bought the book, the physical copy, and I was so excited for it. It seemed so nice, and it let me down a little bit. So this is Frost and Shadow, The World of Miracles by Jessie Vallée. Now this is book 1 in the Frost and Shadow series. I do not think I'll pick up the others. I'm actually okay with how this ended for me to not pick up the others. So this book is about Emma, who is a gifted. She has some winter power, which means like everything that is the snow, the cold, some wind, some ice, and she has a connection with what is called the winter spirits, so she can see at other places through those spirits. Now, when you're born gifted, it's called the Institute, goes and picks you out of your home, brings you to the Institute, and basically you go to school there. Emma has been basically on the run her whole life from the Institute. Now, another thing that exists are the cursed. The cursed are basically, they also have powers, but they have a hunger to feed off of the energy of the gifted. Well, Emma's love interest is obviously a cursed man called Dimitri, and he doesn't try to kill her, so that's good. And shit goes down at the Institute, and they join forces to go against what happens. It was okay. It was not it for me, but it was alright, I think he gave it a 3.5, which is still a good rating. Next, we have another Pleasure and Prey novel. This is Vicious. It is book 3 in the series. It's the one I liked the least out of like the 4 of them that are out and that I've, read. This one, I got them. They came in while I was doing a weekly vlog, and I was like, oh, this one reminds me of Freddy because it says 1, 2, he's coming for you, 3, 4, Ben and Rosa more. And the Freddy song, it's 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you, 3, 4, better lock your doors, 5, 6, grab your crucifix, 7, 8, I never remember what it is, and then 9, 10, Never Sleep Again. So I was like, oh, this sounds like the Freddy one. Like, what if it's inspired by Freddy? It is. It actually is. Nightmare on Elm Street 1 is my favorite horror movie. I'm not big into horror movie, but like those old ones that are not actually that scary, I like them. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of funny to me. And I watched it back in high school at a Halloween sleepover moment with friends and alcohol. So I think it's my favorite horror movie because of the memories that go with it. So this one is not in the same friend group than book 1, 2, and 4. Like 1, 2, and 4, the 3 main characters, the 3, serial killers are in a friend group together. This man is not, but there is an appearance of Ren at some point. So this book is about Quinn, who basically ran away from her hometown after her psychologist, therapist, murdered people for her. She ran away to go to school. Something she didn't know is that Gabriel, the therapist who killed people for her, has been stalking her since she's gone. And then she learns that and gets a job in a totally different state and goes, fuck it, I'm going there. Because, he knows where I am right now. And he ends up also moving there and starting to work at the same social services place that she works at. And yeah. I finished listening to Shiver by Maggie Stiefwater, which is about Grace, who is 16, I'm pretty sure. And that when she was a kid, she got attacked and bitten by a wolf. And she lives right by the forest, so they grabbed her from her backyard, dragged her in the forest. And another one of the wolves ended up saving her. And since that moment, every winter, she sees those same yellow eyes in her backyard, watching her, making sure she's all right. Now, those wolves are not ordinary wolves. They are werewolves. And in that world, they shift when it gets cold. So in the winter, they're in wolf form, summer, human form. And so during autumn, when it's cold and they're supposed to be, wolves, our love interest Sam gets shot and somehow shifts back into a human on her back porch. And so she goes and helps him, and they were already kind of falling for each other. So they fall fast and hard at this time. It was alright. It's a YA, werewolf romance from, 2012. So, you know the vibe. Then I also started One Piece Sanji's Food War. It is 6 short stories by the creators of Food War that is based on Sanji in One Piece, who is one of my 3 favorite One Piece characters, which are Sanji, Nami, and Chopper are equal. Then we have Zoro. Anyways, Sanji is my favorite One Piece character. And I got 2 stories in because there is multiple stories. And I really want to finish it. But I'm scared that after the 3rd story, I'm not going to know the context. Because the 3rd story is the arc I am currently in One Piece, Vivi's arc. And then there's from other arcs. But I know it's not going to spoil anything, so I don't know why I'm scared for it to be kind of out of context. Oh, one of them is when Sanji is a kid, so... yeah, probably still gonna finish it. I really like it. It's nice. Quick read. Multiple stories. Very, very nice. Now, last but not least, I reread Pucking Around by Emily Raff for my 5-star 2023 5 stars reading vlog. I gave it 5 stars again. This thing, I love this book so fucking much. You can see how many tabs there is. It is a comfort book for me, along with the Cruel Prince series, The Love Hypothesis, and Den of Vipers. Somehow Den of Vipers is one of my comfort books. Don't come for me. So this book is about Rachel, who is a doctor for a hockey team, the Rays. And a couple months back, she had the best one-night stand of her life. Loki fell in love with the man, never saw him again. Well, when she starts working for the Rays, that man is actually Mr. Jake Compton. He is on the team. He's a little defense man. We love him. But she doesn't only fall for one man in this. Oh, no. We have a reverse harem. She also ends up with Caleb, who is the equipment manager. And my favorite, the love of my fucking life, Ilmari Mars Kinunian, who is the goalie. I've always had a thing for goalies, and this just makes it even more, with him being the best man in the world. And we have so many kinds of relationships in this. We have a kind of second chance between Rachel and Jake. We have a fast burn between Caleb and Rachel, and between Ilmari and Rachel, it's a slow burn. And we also have I've been pining for you for so many years, please notice me, please don't tell me you're straight moment between Caleb and Jake, who have been best friends forever. And we have some family relationship, we have some friendships, we have the hockey team who's basically a family. And yeah, I just love this book so fucking much. It has been thrown in bags both times I've read it. It has a weird shape, but it's a very loved book. So yeah. Those are all of the books I've read in March. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!